I'm vjsmyth, and this is the Abyss incident at Europa. Yes, it is based on the James Cameron movie, and it's an officially licensed sequel to it, and it is jank. So yeah, perfect for this event. So before I start, just to let you know, we have a flashing light warning, but I'm going to be covering the screen briefly during that part, and this only happens twice in a run, so don't worry, you're not going to miss much content. So literally just walking into a room, grabbing a key card, then walking into a room, grabbing another item, coming back out, so we won't miss anything. So right, time will start in a second. So you can pick either the characters from the movie, Bud or Lindsay Brigman. The main premise of this is that the NTI alien race from the movie have called them back down to the deep core platform in order to sort out a mutagenic virus that's turning everybody alive, alien and human, into hideous mutated forms, and they're aggressive, and we're trying to find a cure. So we just arrived back on the platform. The guy who's out in front of us is dead, and now we're coming out. This is a rated E for everybody horror. Just want you to keep that in mind. E for everybody. So okay, get started here. So 3, 2, 1, go. So this is a Windows 95 game. It is jank controls. And first off, I need to swap out to the cover because I need to come into a room with really bad strobe light effect. It's supposed to be a flickering light, as in like the light bulb fixture is broken, but unfortunately it's actually it's like a really bad strobe light effect. I've tried everything to mitigate it. It's not an emulation issue or anything. It's literally just the game is like that, which is wild because there's other parts of the game where it's fine, but this part is just no. Not too far. Controls for this are a bit crap. So if you've played Doom, you'll be going like, oh, it's like a Doom clone. No, Doom has good controls. This does not. That's the first enemy. Skip past. This is arrow keys for movement, space to interact, left control to jump, left control to shoot, A to jump, and Z to crouch. This isn't, you can't remap the keys. And yeah. We're just going up here to grab a gel pack. We need to grab 3 of these in order to turn on a generator. The first hub, like the deep core platform, is probably the best portion of the game. So we start off strong and then we just go downhill. And unfortunately, wait for the actual message to show up. The safety doors are engaged before I go down. I'm down to the basement. You might see the category of this. I'm wiping down as annual percentage pacifist. What does that mean? Well, we're collecting no weapons. I'm collecting 3 poly water keys now, and they'll be very important later on. I'm collecting no weapons. So we're playing a Doom game with no weapons. And it is possible, it's doable, and it's some fun strategy to do to kind of mitigate the fact that we can't attack. But even regularly, you can't actually kill most of the enemies. You get kind of a stun gun kind of job for the most part, and you have to use that to temporarily knock down enemies for a few seconds. And I do mean a few seconds, like they drop for maybe about 2 or 3 seconds, and they get back up. So I've turned on the generator, and I need to get parts of a diving suit. So unfortunately, doors don't stay open. And I'm going to do a quick save here because I have a very dodgy part coming up here. So this room, they want us to do a puzzle. They want us to lure all of the 2 mutants in this room into a force field area at the back, and then lock them in there. We're not going to do that. There's a little ledge here you can jump up on top of when you... And they should be okay. And you can just kind of avoid them and lure them out because they have to actually be touching you to injure you. So the fact that we are a little bit like the millimeter away from them, they can't hit you. So I'll be doing the next screen sensor again in a second because we're going back into that room. So I grabbed the helmet with a fluid diving suit, which lets us survive extreme pressures. And we have to go back in now and grab the rest of the diving suit. You can't grab it the first time you go into the room. The game just won't give it to you. There we go. Should be good. Okay, and we don't need to worry about having to censor the rest of the game. So the game is kind of interesting in how it does some mechanics. Like this part is kind of like very basic kind of survival horror adventure game stuff where you run around, you're grabbing like key cards literally and solving some basic puzzles to open the next area, and then it changes. So we have everything we need to start moving the platform, except the key is missing from the control panel, so we need to go up to the officers' quarters. And with the tech here, we open the elevator here, we grab this deck plate and we go back in, and hopefully it should actually be moving down. Yeah, just because it takes a few seconds, so it's a little bit of optimization. So this is almost a puzzle. So there's 3 deck plates, and you look on the ground and just mashing the space bar to use them to cover up the floor. You can't jump over them. You have to actually use the metal panels. And we're coming in here to grab the keys. Because when you think of a undersea massive mobile base, you think it starts like with a big massive control panel and a complex series of operations. No, it's literally just household. It's just a car key you just put in. Now we're heading back down, and we're almost finished the first hub. Game. There we go. Sometimes hit detection's a bit jank. So now we're moving the deep core platform, and now we can jump into the moon pool here, which gets us onto the NTI Arc. So this is where the game starts getting crap. So from here on out, the game kind of wants to do this big emphasis on exploration rather than puzzles. Like there are some puzzles, but for most of the part is that they want you to kind of explore this big, massive base and find 4 nodes to turn the power for a jump gate, so it can take a ship to the proper to Europa station. The aliens have told us basically that on the Europa station had the final parts of the mutagen cure, and we need to bring the part we find on this base, which is the NTI Arc. So there's Deep Core Platform, which is the humans base, and there's the NTI Arc, which is the aliens base, and then there's Europa station, which is the actual planet Europa with the where the aliens are on. So we need to bring our part of the cure over to them. And I need to save here. Okay, so this is a 9 puzzle. So there's no solution for this other than trial and error. So there's 4 panels here you just need to run over. So it's center, left, right, and then it's a hidden panel to the side. It's not the big force field that gets turned off. It's the panel on the side. Because the game is really mean. And it's not the meanest one to see with these 4 puzzles in a minute. So the layout of the NTI Arc is kind of weird. So it's on 2 levels. So we're on the top level at the moment, and it's divided into 8 sectors in a kind of in a circle. But you can't go from sector 8 to sector 1, and we start off in sector 7. I want to say. So we have to. What we did there is we went over 1 from sector 7 to sector 8 to grab to turn on one of the platforms, and now to go all the way back. And again, the game is super mean because you've no way of knowing that that's what you're supposed to do, or even how it's laid out, because there is no in-game minimap, which is the one thing a game with exploration base should be doing. I was going to save here again because if I mess up, I have to reset it. So this one is left, right, center, and we go straight through. And that's the second one done. So if you're wondering, like, wow, that's a 30-minute estimate, and we're like burning through hub 2 of 3. Yeah, they get longer and worse. There's a lot of side rooms here. We could be going in and getting some more supplies, like energy, and there's actually an upgraded weapon we could grab. Again, we're doing pacifist, no weapons, no upgrades, we're just making do. For the most part, it looks so far like, oh, there's not really much need for combat. We'll see it now in a second, because we have stuff like this room where we probably have robots attacking us, and the robots shoot, and they're really accurate, which is super annoying. And we got past and we're taking too much damage. I'm not too worried about my health on hubs 1 and 2. It's when I get to the third hub, I really have to start paying attention. So this is sector 4. So we're taking the right here. I have seen this area described as kind of like Windows screensaver. This one is mean. The door is actually open from the start, and it's actually not tied to the floor panel. It is tied entirely on whether the fact the door you come in is open or not. So that door is closed, that door is closed. And the only way you'll know that is you don't. The game just flat out when I tell you, oh, I think I went wrong here. I need to, yeah, just go inside. It gets really confusing trying to navigate this because, again, all the areas look identical, and you're just trying to go muscle memory for a chunk of it, and then trying to remember what sector you're on. So in sector 5, so I need to go over to sector 6. And you can dodge a chunk of the enemies for the most part. There is one section towards the end of this, so I'll be doing a quick safety save because I can get, if I get stuck in a wall, I can get absolutely decimated, and we're trying to avoid that. So we're just about to take on the last power relay. So it is left here, and remember to come back the same way. And this one then is, it's the exact same as the first one, so it is center, left, right, and you hug the wall so you don't hit it. Yeah, I did it. So it is center, left, right, and you don't want to touch off the floor panels again because you'll reset it. What is happening there? I'm kind of getting an idea. So center, left, right. Should be it. Okay, I don't know what's happening there. If you brush off one of the floor panels, it just closes the door, and you can try and reset the floor panels, but it's really not worth the time. You're better off just reloading a save if you're in a run. Like even casually, you can reset them. Usually, it just involves going back to the previous sector and then coming back in, and the floor panels reset properly. So some of this game is actually lost media in terms of resources. The publisher's website had official maps and stuff up, and they're all gone. I actually had to redraw maps for this from scratch, and this is not a good game to be drawing maps from scratch. It's all curves and weird angles, and then the map looping back in amongst itself in weird ways, so it's such a nightmare to draw. So we just gone down to the bottom layer just to grab the mutation cure part. Could have grabbed it at any time because the bottom area is kind of like a fast travel-ish hub, but you have to unlock it from above for each of the sections. And that's kind of a pain to do, so look, we don't have to worry about that in the run. And now we're going to get out of here. Now, where's the exit, you might wonder? It's actually hidden behind a hidden door. There's a wall panel that's actually transparent as you can walk through, and the game gives you no indication of this whatsoever. And it's only by trial and error you'll find it. And in fairness, the wall panel does look slightly different, so you have a chance to figure it out. You'll see it here, and I just need to do a quick safety save here before I go through it, because this is where it gets dicey. He even tells you a secret passageway. So we need to run through here and hit a switch while being shot at and get in this door quickly before we lose too much health. We're fine. Okay, so this is the end of hub 2 of 3. If we hadn't pressed that one button by the door before we came in here, we'd die. This cutscene plays out, and the only difference between this and the good ending part of this cutscene is the ship goes straight into the force field and explodes, and game over. Hope you had to save. There's no checkpoints in this, by the way. There's no like, oh, restarting on the hub. No, if you mess up, that's it. You're gone. So now we're on to the final hub, which is the Europa station, and we need to grab the last two parts to cure, and then we also need to disperse the cure and then finish terraforming the planet. The aliens kind of give us a lot of stuff to do instead of, helping us. We actually haven't seen any of the alien identities so far. We'll see one in a few minutes, I think. The run kind of ignores most of them because they're not necessary. And also, fun fact, there's a translator you can get. We don't pick it up on the run. So the polywater keys we picked up are all the way back on Hub 1. They open 3 doors. They open doors on this level and on the previous level that are locked. If you don't pick them up on the first hub, you're not screwed per se because you can find them in other areas. The trouble is with this area, this hub, exploring this is such a massive waste of time because there's so much dead space. I mean, look at how much walking I'm just doing in the corridor. There's a lot of this, and then most of us walking into a corridor that has one that's just built of enemies and there's nothing in it. So we're going to Cavern 1. So there's 4 mini subs. We're going into the first mini sub to go into the hangar 1. And first mini sub hangar. That beep noise you hear is the fact that we don't have the translator. So if you pick up the translator on the first hub, you can hear them speaking. If you don't pick it up, you're out of luck. You'll never understand what they're saying to you. And this map is super mean because all of the turns underwater are kind of like a point blank turns, and you can't see the turn off till you've gone past it. And a lot of them, you'll, like if I didn't turn around and go back to that area, you can go straight on and you go to this big massive cavern where there's a single small health pickup and nothing else. Oh, sorry, there's one enemy there. Sorry, that's it. And it's a long walk and you're wondering what's happening. Then you come all the way back out and then you see the turn off back to this cavern. A lot of mean game design here. And this part here is Windows screensaver stuff. Windows 95 screensaver stuff where it's like the 3D maze. Okay, so Cavern 1 done. So we're doing these in a very particular order for navigation. But actually, you can't go to the caverns out of order. Whichever mini sub hangar you go into is automatically going to bring you to the next one in the sequence, so you can't soft lock yourself. But the actual navigation around the hub is super annoying, and it doesn't tell you. Again, there's no mini map, there's no in-game map. Nothing will tell you what you're doing here. So I'm going to have to do a quick save in a second because the game has a tendency to crash. I picked up a metal plate in the last cavern and I need to use it to bridge a thing here. And occasionally the game likes to crash when I do this, so I am going to be careful. Yeah, we're fine. And now, you're thinking first person adventure game. What's the one mechanic that we all know and love with games like this? Where am I going? And if you said, oh, come on, game. If you said 3D jumping puzzles, there we go. You'd be right, because who doesn't love 3D jumping with absolute trash controls and high damage? So we can take a bit of damage coming in and out. We actually even want to do that because it's actually faster than trying to take a safe route. But we don't want to take too much damage because it's a very long time in this map before we get any health, and even to try and get health is so far out of our way, it's not worth it. So we're better off just saving. Oh, I should be okay at that. Would mind a little bit more, but we're fine. And I'm going to quick save here again because the game has a tendency to try and knock you off coming back for some reason. Like if you saw the little gesture there to the right, that wasn't me hitting the controls wrong. That was the game trying to actively knock me off the platform into the pit. Okay, so that's cavern 2 done out of 4. And the next cavern is where we'll see the fact that we have no weapons is going to really bite us in the ass. So there is a hidden gun on this area behind a hidden door panel, and you won't find it honest by pure accident, but it's about 3 minutes out of the way to even get it. And it's probably the only weapon that's actually watered down because it's infinite ammo and it stuns everything in the game. So this guy here is going to be blocking our way. So we have to actually lure him out. Just bear in mind, this is E for everybody. And look how, this is a human being, by the way, who's horribly mutated. So I am going to do a quick save here. And we need to move this out of the way and quickly run all the way through this. And I say quickly, I mean quickly, because that guy will start trying to follow us. And if he blocks the entrance, there's nothing we can do. So we grab a stalactite here, and then we're running all the way back, and we have to basically beat him to the entrance. I might be screwed, we'll see. Might be some skill, come on. Please be lucky, please be lucky. We did get out, perfect. And that's... Doing that with a gun is so much easier because you can just stun him and just walk past him. But doing this pacifist is so much harder because if you mess up trying to lure him out, he'll just block the entrance and you can't get past him. Doesn't matter how much health you have, you just cannot tank the damage. He'll just knock your health down in seconds. And we'll probably see that in a minute or so because we're going to see more of those guys. Game. There we go. Okay, and now we're on to the 4th and final cavern. And I'm going to save here. I shouldn't need to, but we'll see where we go. So again, this part is fun. It's kind of cinematic, going through underground river, and so we are desperately trying to keep the jumping, and we did it in one take. Yay! I've spent way too much time in this game. Would I recommend this game to anybody? As an experience, yes. Like if you liked The Abyss, this does actually expand on the lore, and there's like some FMV sequences you can find. I just need to save here because we're into a dangerous section. Unfortunately, don't look at any of the FMVs in the run because 1, they're out of the way, and 2, they involve you just having to sit there and watch them on a very small screen. So unfortunately can't show off in this.
Hey, this stuff really shields me from the heat.
Okay, now back to the Gauntlet of Death, and we're trying to avoid all of these guys, and if you run into them directly, they can absolutely kill you in like 2 seconds. So we have to run past them, and I think we're good. Yeah, we killed them all. Looking to be deathless so far, which I am kind of like. Not one segment, unfortunately, because we'd have to load from save. But you know what? I'll take deathless. So the whole reason up in that area was just to grab some thermal liners for our suit, and now we can go into this heated pool. So this part here is kind of dicey. It's right. I think I have this right, please. This is the one that's really hard navigate because all the area looks the same, and you'll run out of water, out of air very fast. I think I'm good. And you can't hover too close to the surface because if you do, you'll bump your head up the ceiling. Nope, I came all the way back. Oh well. Try this again. That's why the estimate's a little bit generous, because this section here is so annoying. Because the turnoffs for this are so hard to see. It's left here, and then is it right? Yeah, I think we're good. As I'm trying to remember this water one, the previous water one, another water cavern for your layout, and it's super hard. It's super easy to get turned around because the turnoffs are gleefully hidden from you. We've gone right because I can see in the bottom left-hand corner is actually an infection meter, which shows if there's an enemy nearby. Hey, we shouldn't be out here. And now our last bit of platforming in the run. So I'll try to go for first try. Come on. We did a first try. Yay. So this is the third and final part of the mutation cure, but now we need to actually mix it together, so we need to get to the lab. So I need to, because I want to keep my health a little bit higher. You can just drop down, but I want to keep my health a little bit above 0. So I want to, because I have very much in danger of dying on the way out. So I think we can take a shortcut back out here. So if we go left, I think if we just keep hugging the left wall here, we should see the way out. Hopefully I have this done right. I think I have, because there's no enemies on my radar, so I know I'm at the other end of the tunnel. Yes, we did it. Okay, not too bad. We're still on track for hitting estimate. Fantastic. That's the nice thing about this is the run itself isn't too temperamental. It's getting lost in the mazes, and it's really hard to reorientate yourself after. Okay, so we have the fourth cavern done, so now we need to sketch the lab. So the reason why we kind of take the line we do, because that mini sub hangar is right next to where we need to go for the lab. And I'm actually going to do a quick safety save here, because there's an enemy here in the corridors, and depending on which way he decides to stand, I'm not going to. I wasn't a death, but yeah, he can pick the left-hand side or the right-hand side, and if he blocks you, you just take damage. That's it. So now we're using the second of the 3 polywater keys we picked up at the very start of near the very start of the game, and now we're in the lab. And Pacadian packs now are okay. That's one of the NTI aliens. He's squawking at me there because I have no translator for him, and he's now telling me to do stuff. Again, makes no difference. I can't understand him. Luckily enough, we don't need to have him translate to know what we're supposed to do. So we need to get to the control room to help disperse the cure, and then power up the terraforming machine. Fun fact, there is actually a bad ending you can get where the terraforming machine blows up the planet, but I've never actually gotten it, and I'm not sure how you even trigger the criteria for it. It's based on the same cutscene anyway, where it just blows up instead of terraforming planet. But like, we are very close to endgame, so we are just making a big run back to the very start of the game. And we're going through this door, which is at the very start when you came into this area, we went left. This is us basically just going right at it. And use the last of the polywater keys. We power up, and launch Europa, and that is it. That is Europa, any percent pacifist. No weapons picked up. I can't really claim a debt list because I did reload a save there at the end because I thought my health would be a bit too low to chance it. But yeah, well, I've been vjsmyth. I've another run coming up again in a minute. But yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/vjsmyth, and you can find me on speedrun.com vjsmyth. And any of the games I run, please reach out to me and talk to me about it. I love talking about these old games, no matter how good, bad, obscure, jank, expensive they can be. Please reach out to me. But yeah,
Emergency status has been officially dropped.
I'll toss it back over to the host.
The finders, rather Bud and Lindsay Brickman, have found the cure to the alien mutagen. Although this expedition was extremely unorthodox, it has been met with complete gratitude by both our governments and by the NTIs. In fact, the NTIs have asked that the Brigmans be escorted to Europa to help them finish the final details of terraforming. As it turns out, Earth, and probably countless other worlds and species, owe a great deal to the finders.